Pied Piper serves a special part and need for Alpena, the community of Alpena.
Piper is a special place because everyone is included, everyone is accepted. Students of varying levels come here and teachers are able to address their unique needs. And it's a place where everyone fits in. Kids are able to develop friendships here, but yet learn the academics that they might need and also the life skills that they need to help them become productive members of society.
Piper is oriented to meet the unique needs of the population that attend.
It was basically driven by parents of the students that were attending the small school on Piper Road that wanted more and better for their kids. And there were many leaders in that group that we owe, the current facility to. And as often happens, people who have a strong interest in the welfare of their own children have a lot of energy, and those folks did. And thankfully, they were leaders that pushed the agenda for a school for children with disability, and Alpena's benefited from that ever since.
When Piper was founded in 1960, people were moving here from downstate so their kids could go to one of the first schools like Piper. When I was principal 2 years ago, there's a student that is still here. They moved up here from downstate, and one of their words to me when I gave them a tour of Piper was, "We should have moved here 20 years ago." And they came from Bloomfield, Rochester Hills area. And their words were, "My student went from being a number to feeling like we found our family."
Pied Piper helped Hazen with a lot of social, emotional type things and life skills. Not that he was going to ever live on his own, and he never had, but he always had support. But he learned how to mix, how to vacuum, how to put the laundry into the washer, how to take it out of the washer, put it in the dryer, how to act appropriately when you go into the community. So that's how Pied Piper helped him.
It's cliche, but it takes a village. And the population that we serve here at Piper, they're a population that they deserve everything that we're able to give them, and to make them be important members of the community. And the message that I have is just simply, welcome. This is for you. This is your opportunity, and we're just very proud of the fact that we've been able to provide it for you.
The Michigan legislature created intermediate school districts in 1962. Like other ISDs, the AMA ESD coordinates essential services with our local school districts. Our service area encompasses all of Alpena, Montmorency, and Alcona counties and includes Alpena Public Schools, Alcona, Atlanta, and Hillman Community Schools. We provide leadership and program support for all of our districts, and our largest area of support is in special education. As part of our special education support, we operate Pied Piper School, which serves children with special needs who may have moderate to severe impairments or multiple impairments.
The renovation project started really from a conversation with our Board of Education about 2 years ago. Following that conversation, a group of staff went down to Washtenaw County to the ISD there and visited their High Point school. They had just essentially demolished their school, keeping just a few of the walls and a few of the features, and then rebuilt it. We knew that wasn't going to be an option for Pied Piper or the AMA to completely demolish the building and start over, but rather we wanted to see the purposeful choices that their staff had made for their students. So things from the furniture they selected to the ceiling to floor marker boards that you'll see in our spaces, or the Velcro boards that allow us to get away from using push pins and things like that. We watched and toured that building and talked with staff and learned about all the different things they did when they rebuilt that school. And we focused our attention on the paint inward. And so what could we do in a renovation here that leaned on some of the purposeful choices that they made? How might we adapt them for our needs here with our students? And that allowed us to really start that visioning for what the project would become. And from there, we started working with King Scott Architects and Clark Construction as our construction managers.
From the very beginning, we sat down with the AMA staff, King Scott, the architect, and we helped develop this program here, exactly what the renovation was going to be. We brought in staff to get their opinions, and after that, we ended up going out to bid to our trade partners to get the best value out there, use as much local as possible. After we bid it out, we went to start buying, procuring material throughout the winter. So once school got out, we had everything on hand. We knew the project was going to be a success because we had everything ready to get installed as soon as we could.
This was an important project for Clark Construction to be a part of because educational projects are a huge part of our portfolio. Between higher ed and K-12, it's about half our work. And we just enjoy building things for the community, and school projects really benefit the whole community, and people are excited, and we're able to see that here today, and we really enjoy that part of it. People have their new space, and one of the kids said this looked like a high-end hotel, and everybody has smiles on their faces, and that's our reward.
There was a lot of outdated equipment, outdated casework, kind of 1970s color palettes and things like that. It wasn't very exciting visually. So we were able to introduce color, introduce new materials into the space. Probably the biggest improved area would be the transition kitchen, adding that into what was the staff lounge and the toilet room, and really making that a connected space with the workshop so that staff members can kind of monitor both sides of the space and make sure kids are being safe and responsible.
They had good leaders, the good company to work for. The school was really helpful in coming up with decisions and going forward and getting done. It was kind of nice.
We had worked for Pied Piper over the last 20 years. We had done a lot of service work for them. And I believe through Clark Construction, through their bid room, sent us plans to bid the actual upcoming project. So we found out kind of through that and just through word of mouth that they were going to be remodeling. A lot of the old stuff that was in there had to come out. The kitchens had a lot of outdated stuff in there, so we had to rip all the control wiring out of there and basically start over. So it was challenging to upgrade, but we enjoyed it.
Staff were a huge part of the choices that were made, particularly in the classroom spaces. So the furniture that you see in the rooms, the color palette that you see on the walls, the technology and where it's located, all were a part of what the staff contributed to selecting and being a part of that selection process. We actually had a group of staff go down and actually try out furniture, actually see the furniture, actually sit on the furniture. And we actually brought samples back to Pied Piper, placed them in the gym so that other staff could test them out, get a feel for them, decide what they liked more, what they liked less, and select the pieces that they knew would work for their spaces. So staff had a huge part of the entire process.
There are so many things, as I was walking through, Lauren kind of gave me a personal tour, and I was walking through, I was like, oh, where's that, and this was a bad thing for us back then. And so many of those things have been corrected. When I had this was my classroom, and we had 8 kids in here, and several of them were in wheelchairs, but they weren't in their wheelchairs all day. So we had things shoved here, and then we would shove them out in the hallway. And so just even having that extra space where you could put equipment that wasn't being used. And when we had kids with standers and wheelchairs and walkers. And so, where do you do with all that? And in the beginning, it was just all in here.
I used to work in the home living classroom, and just to see the upgrades that we have is going to be amazing for the kids.
I am truly amazed. Of course, I saw the sketches prior to. It's amazing. It is a real boost for our community. It will help our district. Kids may be wanting to come here because it is so modern and awesome.
I think just the idea that we wanted to create this great environment for our kids to learn in and for our staff to work in, it was an important thing to me. We want to make sure that every dollar that we have, we can utilize toward advancing the opportunities for our kids.
Well, anytime the community invests in a project and their people, you want to make sure you get the most out of it, the most bang for your buck. And to have a new space where it's bright and it's functional and it has all the things you dreamed about having, and stretching your dollar. That's really what's most important.
The people just care so much, and you guys seen that with other people that come to interview. They care so much about the education for those young adults there, and just the specialized care that they give and the skills that they're teaching those students it's really invaluable.
Exceptional children, like our students, are like all children, and share the same fundamental human need: to feel a sense of belonging, acceptance, appreciation, and love. Pied Piper is a place where these things happen on a daily basis.